What's up, guys? I am getting dressed after a shower after the gym, and I was thinking about how sometimes adults think it's like not okay or difficult to apologize to children, or like it's not even their place to do that, and I think that's pretty whack. So I've been reflecting on my years as a formal teacher, and I feel like I'll make some actual long-form videos about this, but there's just one incident I want to bring up. Okay, so my last year of teaching, which wasn't a full year, I had my classroom, and we had some noise complaints. Now, I can be a loud person, and I don't always notice. Now, I'm actually a contradiction, because sometimes things are too loud for me. And sometimes I'm with the shenanigans and I will hype up loudness. So it really depends on the moment and what's going on. So I'm willing to accept that sometimes the volume might have gotten out of control. That's fine. But so long story short, me and my classrooms, class periods, had been working on volume. And I think we had come a long way, right? But I had this one class period, and honestly, they weren't one of the louder periods. They really weren't one that I was concerned about. I had two in particular that were rambunctious, and these weren't the ones. So anywho, we're chilling, we're doing a little game actually, and they're congratulating themselves, they're getting into the game, so of course they're a little talky, but they weren't screaming, you know? So anywho, we're chilling, and an administrator comes in. And they're like, "You guys are too loud. Why are you talking?" And so I explained, well, we're playing a game, so that's why they're talking. And she was like, "Well, they don't need to talk to play the game." I was like, I guess. All right then. And so, okay, so I was like, all right, we're gonna quiet down and we're not gonna talk in the middle of the rounds. We're just gonna play the game. But I see nothing really wrong with you being like, "Man, I did good at that." You know, a little side talk is fine, but hey, okay. All right, so, so we're playing the game. And we keep going. But I didn't want to discourage them from talking all the way because again, you should congratulate yourself, and especially these are kids. I mean, they're middle schoolers, but I want them to feel good about themselves. I want them to congratulate themselves and each other, and I just think that's normal. But I was like, okay, we're gonna keep it down. And because obviously my definition of not too loud is different from some others' definition of not too loud, we're going to use an app. So I found an app that remember, I don't know if you guys had it, but when I was in elementary school, in the 2000s, some teachers had this what do you call it? What do I want to say? It was like a stoplight. And when the stoplight got to red, you were too loud and vice versa. So I found an app that had a similar idea to it, and we put it in the middle of the room so that it could gauge the sound. I explained it to the kids. They were like, okay, bet. And so I could see it, and some of them could see it, and so they all had the same idea. Because they were on the same page with me. They were like, okay, yeah, we want to make sure that we're monitoring. Everybody was on the same page. Cool. So we're using the app. At one point, they got a little loud, and one of the kids noticed at the same time I did, and they were like, quiet down. And so we did, and it worked out. To me, Anywho, a little bit later, administrator comes in again, and they're like, it's too loud in here. We can hear you all the way up the hallway. And I'm flabbergasted because, again, at this point, I really don't think it's loud. I'm not, it's not loud. And I don't just mean, because I like noise. I just mean, it's not loud, So I'm just huh? And I even showed her the app. I'm like, well, we got this app. We were trying to monitor our noise. And she's like, I don't care about that app. It's too loud. You guys are ridiculous. And you all know better. And then she starts yelling at my class. And she's like, you all know better. And their faces are falling. And my face is falling because I'm just I told them they were fine. And I kind of freeze for a second because, to me, if I'm the person in authority and I've given these people the okay Whether I'm your boss, your teacher, your mom, whatever. I've given you all the go-ahead, and someone comes up behind me and basically tears you apart over something I told you was okay. I think that's my fault. I know it's my fault. It is. Because I said it was fine. So, like, I'm a little like, ooh, you know? And then finally, and she's like, you can go on. You can finish teaching, which, ooh, okay, girl. But anyway, but I'm like, okay. And I was like, hey, guys, I'm really sorry that I told you guys were fine, because apparently we weren't fine. I probably didn't say it that clear. I was probably shaking a little, to be honest with you. Actually, I think I was, because the kid hugged me after she left. But, you know, I was like, I'm sorry, guys. Like, I thought we were fine, and apparently my judgment was off. That's Miss Green's bad. We're gonna do this silently, because that's the best I can do for you right now. And so we finished the game silently, but honestly, I think we were all just a little shaken. And then after the game, I think I had like break time, and then I went into the office to talk to them because they asked me to come talk to them. And oh, you know what? That's a different story. I'll tell you that part of the story in a longer form video, because that's really not a part of the point. The point is, when I was talking to the administration, first of all, I was just like, well, you know, I got this app to see how loud things were, and they made this little comment about, do your ears not work? And ooh, rude. But you know what? Neither here nor there. But I was like, okay, well, that's what the app is for. They make tools for this specific reason. And then she was like, and also you didn't need to stop because I came in here to redirect the class. You didn't have to stop teaching. And I was like, well, you kind of came in and disturbed the flow. And she was like, and you didn't have to apologize to them. It's not about being their friends. Pause. So that's what I want y'all to understand. Apologizing to someone is not about being their friend. It's about apologizing for what you did wrong. And in this situation, what I did wrong was lead them astray and make them feel comfortable in what I thought was right. Now, do I think they had done anything wrong? No. But the point is, I, their leader, had told them that what they were doing was completely acceptable. And I technically got them in trouble. And that's what I was trying to explain to her. And she was like, you can apologize to us if you want to, but you don't need to apologize to them. And I'm like, girl, I'm not apologizing to you. First, but I was like, I need to apologize to them because I told them what they were doing was fine. And she was like, they know better. And I was like, no, see, first of all, again, noise is subjective. And they were, y'all, I'm telling you, they were fine. But anywho, but as their leader, as their teacher in that moment, as the adult in the room, I said, this thing you're doing right now is A-okay. And someone came behind and reamed them. So I owe them an apology because I told them what they were doing was fine. Like, what part of that do y'all not understand? And I just think it goes back to adults not feeling like they owe children an explanation when they get something wrong. And I think that's whack. Like, if you lead your group, your team, your employees, your kids, your students into a river of fire, you should say, my bad. Like, how hard is that? It shouldn't be hard. And if we as the adults cannot model that behavior, then how do we expect the children to do it themselves? Okay, talk to you later. Bye. These have been Lessons from Miss Green.